Egotastic FunTime.
Tom Constantine. Hey, that's not Tom Constantine. That's Brooke, isn't it?
I brought a guest.
Hey,
I thought you'd be happy with 2 for the price of 1.
Wait a minute. I didn't know there was a price.
The price is free, buddy.
Oh, okay. All right.
I dragged Brooke in. She had real work to do, but she is...
AKA finish my cup of noodles.
A cup of noodles off to the right here.
Yeah, I'm working on this cup of nudes right now, Tom. I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah, no. We were actually just...
I brought my nudes with me.
Right there. We're in like pre-pro, except for lots of things being handled over there on stage 15 that we can't show yet. But
you can't show it right now? You can't just pick up the camera and go over there and show everybody?
Well, I can, but then I wish them all the best, whoever's working on the show after this.
Yeah. Season 3 is going to be on Hulu. We could have some, we could
have
Bordis walking around.
Although, in fairness, I mean, not to bring it to something serious, I think we're going to tonally try and stay where we're at with the show. I mean, I don't think it's not going to suddenly turn to The Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, come on now.
No, because it's like, I mean, like...
I think or anything?
I just like, sometimes having restrictions, even if self-imposed. I mean, we're not going to have to argue with S&P about whether Bordis is smoking 1 or 2 cigarettes anymore.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
But,
okay.
Is it suddenly going to be like a blood and gore fest? Or like, I think it would betray the show. I mean, look, and tell me, I've seen the scripts, I think the heart of the show is going to stay the same to some degree. So anyway, but back to more.
That's exactly what I figured it was going to be. I've seen a lot of people saying stuff like, oh, they're going to Hulu. They're going to say the F word. They're going to say Effies and have, nudity scenes. I'm like, well, first off, as far as The Handmaid's Tale, like you just said, Mockless is pretty much The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
In the Orville universe. But no, I figured, hey, you might get... besides no restrictions, you get all the scenes that were planned to be in an episode. You don't have to argue at all, how many cigarettes, whatever. But you might get a little bit more alien booty at some point. A weird alien walking around with a little bit more butt cheeks than you would usually see. But
I don't know. I mean, maybe...
Is that what the people want?
I think
butt
the people...
they want it.
We can supply butt cheeks. I mean, and look, no difference to The Handmaid's Tale. The finale of the last season that just aired is great. It's just we have our own thing, and just to take it in another direction because you can. I don't think that's healthy for the viewers or the show. So I'm not saying there won't be things, but it's not going to be like, hey, we can do this. It's like when Howard Stern moved to.
I was just going to say that. Yeah. When
he moved, they actually kept some. In some ways, he got more chaste because he had to impose his own restrictions. In some ways, the show's that much better because they're sort of self-watching. It's not like, oh, it's free. It's like I hate to say it, like when marijuana, you can get it anywhere. You don't want it every day.
Yeah. Well, some people probably do.
Well, I digress, but you know what I mean.
I assume.
I've heard.
Now,
documents.
Now, Brooke and Tom, this is a question for both of you guys. What do you guys geek out about that's not Orville related? Even though you probably don't have time to geek out about much else?
You mean sci-fi? You go first. I'm going to show you.
Anything.
I've been a DC chick from the very early years. My personal hero, because she's like good and bad, is Harley Quinn. Nice. Before everybody else was into Harley Quinn, let me just put that out there.
You were the first. You're a Harley Quinn original.
Yeah, like I do have a tattoo of her. Like she's pretty badass because she really she kind of artfully crosses the line when she knows that she can, but she also can bring it back and be like, oh, I do have a heart. But then she's like, just kidding with my fucking fat ass hammer. Like, I'm going to smack the shit out of you. So sometimes I feel like I love you guys, but I also could kill you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. She's kind of my, what the kids call spirit animal, but I really like all of her different stories.
I guess so I'm actually a comedy nerd that I obviously get to explore, half the reason I got into this business was Larry Sanders, and I know you follow my stupid Twitter, but I read the Kids in the Hall book when I was theoretically off last week, which was
nice.
of great enjoyment. But I geek out over old George Carlin, and I've been watching SNL probably, I was too young to watch Dan Aykroyd bleed out over a turkey at age 6. like that kind of stuff. And the other thing that has nothing to do with anything is that I just tweeted this, but we have Doug Drexler, the amazing Doug Drexler, on our show doing some graphics, and he just gave me this from The Venture, which was on DS9. This is unused decals that they used to convert the ship, and I'm going to treasure this in my room and slowly talk to it by myself.
It's like hello stickers. Hi, it's me. It's Tom.
Yeah, no, real screen used. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I digress. Back to real work.
Okay, we talked about the move to Hulu, okay? I know this was a big decision. It was not taken lightly.
Nope.
I want to know what was going on in both of your minds when it just started, when the idea was starting to be floating around. Were you worried, or did you already know that streaming is just a great way to build up this show even more?
I mean, I think, we in visual effects deal with change like almost on the daily. So, if we have the latest version of Nuke, there's already 3 more versions that have been tested and are going to come out, very soon. I think the same kind of thing is happening in television and entertainment is, you used to have these networks that told you what you were going to watch and when you were going to watch it in black and white. And then it was like, okay, now we're color. Holy shit, we're color now. Then everything was color, black and white went away. Now it's like we're streaming. It's not just a Netflix DVD in the mail that somebody's probably going to steal. It's like, you turn on any app in your phone and you can watch any type of content. You can turn on YouTube, podcasts are really up and coming. So it's going from, people in a high castle overseeing everything, deciding what people are going to watch to which is on Amazon. Yeah. But it's turning into literally the audience is telling us what they want to see. And, especially with this show where we do get feedback, it does help or hinder kind of what's happening. Yeah. And the same thing is happening, with streaming networks is everybody has moved to cutting the cord and going to streaming. And I honestly think it would be archaic if we stayed put just for the sake of staying put. We have to move with the flow of people, with the flow of technology and where things are ending up. And also for the, the better good is so that we can get more content, so that we can expand our universe and our galaxy to help, build out this very new, show that we've made. So I think it's going to be great.
I think so too. Look, obviously it's hard, I am sensitive to people's economics and all that kind of thing. But it is a year out and there are things being talked about so that there is more accessibility to the show. And, look, come on, you know me a while. Everything, I keep saying it. I sound like a broken record. We're a streaming show on a network. And we shot that way. We edited that way. We posted that way. It was only a matter of time before we ended up that way. It's too big. It's too ambitious for what they're doing. And that's no knock on Fox. People like to have these conspiracy theories and maybe there's something in a dark room I don't know about somewhere. But, from what I do know, it's all been extremely friendly on all ends. It's like everybody's just trying to do the best by Seth and Seth's trying to do the best by the network and the studio. And, it just made the most sense. So there's some, the people want to tend to put other machinations in place that make it we were going to be canceled or it was going to be this thing. And it's no, it's people actually trying to do good work on all ends. And Fox has been amazing. Maybe sometimes they're writing the check. They were writing the check like this, but they wrote the check. They could have, everybody has been very supportive at all top and bottom levels. So, this is just the next logical step.
Yeah, absolutely. But a lot of people were afraid that this was a step down for the show, but this is a huge step up for the show. Think of the biggest shows right now, and the Orville is a big show. It's a big production.
No, it's a step up, but I just want to say, because I know I'll get, I want people to know, I'm very sensitive to. I had some not so nice DMs and tweets at me. I am sensitive to the fact that people are on budgets and stuff, and it's
absolutely
difficult thing. And believe me, if I could write checks out of my own pocket, I would. And I think Seth is sensitive to that too. It's not like none of this was made lightly. So I just want people to know that, and it's also not the end of the Orville. If you can't afford it, there are probably other ways to see it. It's just, we got it. Like I said, Brie, you got a year before you're going to see any of it. So
I think honestly, Game of Thrones, like they kind of did it the best. Was it became a cultural experience. Like our friends, we would all host viewing parties, and like, if one of us buys a $10 subscription and there's 12 of us there, it's like 75 cents a person to watch a show. So it's like, they made it into experience so that, that was the best part of Game of Thrones for me, was that I got to see my friends that I literally never get to see. But I knew that if I didn't watch this episode, I would probably be shunned from work because I didn't watch the most popular show of all time. So like there are, people get creative on how to figure out to, get entertainment and be a part of the conversation. And like, we have the best fans. I have no doubt that like between us trying to figure out how to like accommodate it and them trying to just get creative and figure out how to, get their hands on something, like it's going to all work out. It's going to be great. And it's going to be a great season to at least, try.
I mean, I do think that when people, whenever we do the, I'm sure the Comic-Con reel or any of this other stuff, or when this stuff starts to leak out, we're going to top. I'm not saying because I'm not saying with a vested interest. I'm saying as a fanboy, we're going to top season 2. The show keeps going in that direction.
Yeah, and that's saying a lot because season 2, wow.
Well, I mean, there's going to be the thing people will consider clunkers, and there's going to be stuff where, or we'll get too many mocklings. We're not doing. I'm just saying, like, there will be the standard complaints, but there's going to be lots of fun stuff coming up. Yeah, the only thing that sucks is having to sit on this knowledge for a year. Either people are like disgruntled, or you just want to like share. Because I feel like the fans. I mean, they're all. A lot of them I feel like are friends. Some of them are actual friends, and I just want to be able to be. You don't understand this. What happens in this thing, and I can't say a thing. Not only because it would ruin everybody's experience, but it's just not. You just can't do it. But
there's like nothing more gratifying than all of us sitting around the TV over here and like watching the live tweet. Like blow up, and we're like, yeah, we did it. When things, because we'll be in a crunch again. We're always in a crunch. Like we're working while the episodes are. Well, now they'll be dropping, but we're it's like us with a bottle of booze, going like this, kind of watching the episode and just like watching everybody talk, and it's like good or bad.
Well, the Orville, it's mostly good, which is
mostly good.
It's hard. That's hard to in the internet age. That's very hard to accomplish nowadays. But the Orville is in this, and it's one of the reasons I gravitated towards it, and I see a lot of other people gravitating towards it, especially in the online community, is the Orville is in this very special time in its life where the fandom has not become jaded yet, like with other fandoms. Great fandoms, wonderful things to be a fan of. I've been members of many of them, but just like with anything on the internet, eventually people just want to, there's this side in all of us where we just want to express our grief over something as opposed to lifting it up and loving it. And right now, the Orville is in that spot, that sweet spot where people just want to lift it up. They want to hug it. They want to love on it. They want to, they want to mush with it. They want to take it over to Mortis's lagoon with it and all that stuff.
Yeah, we're trying. We like I said, we don't take the fandom for granted. I mean, we don't, that's why we're all on the internet all the time chatting. It's Brandon Van. I'm going to put him down.
I enjoy, what's up, man? I enjoy your clothing store.
All the Emmy nominated people. JP, what's going on?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing a long podcast.
I'm doing all right.
I'm going to close the door again.
I was wondering what all that talking was.
This is us just both.
Yeah,
all right, now there's 3 of us now.
Ready, and say cheese. Cheese.
Frasier.
Oh, wait. That works too. So you guys, Brandon, you're part of you're the main VFX dude, right?
For season 3, I'm now the visual effects supervisor. Both Brooke and I went through the fire that was all of the fun stuff for season 2, the battle and all of that. And I think we're now at this point where we're so well, I can't use that phrase. I was say so well greased, but no.
We're so greasy
We're
over
very
here.
greasy.
No. I would say we're
Slipping out of our chairs.
I'm just going to go ahead to HR.
Yeah, that sounds like one of Bortus's environmental simulator programs.
when it comes to like the final shots and creative and all that, it's Brooke, myself. We have a new co-supervisor named Eric Hayden, who we just hired, who's awesome. He was on Empire for years.
He's also been nominated for Deadwood.
He's also been nominated
I
for
just
Deadwood.
followed him today.
Three of us are kind of going to just be essentially one big visual effects kind of unit so that we can hit everything as much as possible from as many directions as possible.
Oh no!
Oh, God.
Oh no! Just you do a shot of Bortus smiling.
Mike.
I gotta learn all the lyrics.
Great Lachlan hero.
Believe it or not, season 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow!
Oh, he finished it out on the rhyme.
All right.
If you liked JP's video and want to help Egotastic FunTime grow, click on the Patreon link and give him all your money today, you stupid bastards.
Egotastic FunTime, we're gonna have a great time. Egotastic FunTime, give me all your money. Give him all your money. You will find it funny. Just give me money. I love money. Give him all your money. Give him all your money. Give me all your money! Give me all your money!